Hello, West Alameda. It's after 7 o'clock. Time to give that shout out and thank you to all the frontline and the essential workers, to the doctors, the nurses, the longshoremen, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, the farm workers, the postal workers, those who work in the stores, the cashiers. So please, if you hear my voice, would you clap your hands, bang your pots and pans, honk your horns, shout, make some noise! Yeah! Frontline workers, thank you! Thank you, frontline workers! We appreciate you! Everything you do! You out there helping, thank you!
Hey, what's going on, y'all? So, I didn't even go outside today. I did it from inside the apartment. Okay, hold on, because you know what? Now it's cold. I gotta close the window. I did it from inside the apartment because my kids told me they don't really want me going outside on the balcony. And even though I'm grown, I do try to listen to my kids. Hey, Margie. Hey, Paulette. Hey, Ron. How y'all doing? Jose, what's up? ¿Qué pasó? So, yeah. Anyway, all right. So, anyway, doing it from inside the house. I put the speaker with the window open and did it from inside the house. So, first of all, excuse me, prayers and thank you to all of the front line. I'm also asking all of you to please pray for the victims of COVID-19 all over the world. And here in the United States, it's 364,000 dead, something like that. And in one day, it was over 3,890 some people died here in the United States in one day. So the COVID-19 thing is real serious. So, you know, as always, I ask you guys to keep in your prayers and keep in your thoughts all those who have died, not just here in the United States, but all over the world. Prayers and thoughts for those who have tested positive for COVID-19. One of my nephews, Anthony, well, you know, in our community, you have nephews and you have uncles and you have cousins, and they're not your biological, but in our culture, you know, people call me uncle, and I take that serious. So he's my nephew. His name's Anthony. I'm not gonna tell you his last name because he may not want everybody to know, but Anthony, prayers going out to you, okay? Because I know you're going through it. I have another nephew, Mark. He's in the hospital also, but it's not for COVID-19, so prayers going out for him. Prayers for Sherry. She's a bus driver. She's not feeling good either. going in, but I don't believe it is for COVID. But so prayers and thoughts for everybody, not just people who I know, but people who that are suffering either from COVID-19 or other medical conditions or emotional and mental things that a lot of people are going through right now. So those are things that, people, we're stuck in. This is what, day 282 for me doing the shout out. And I didn't start doing the shout out till April 1st. And the shutdown or shelter in place went into effect like March 18th or something like that. So it's rough. At one point we were able to go to restaurants and eat outside, but they shut that down too. So I know people are really going through a lot of stuff, being stuck up in the house and not being able to go nowhere. I go out most of the time, but when I go out, I stay out, and then I come straight home. And when I do go out, I wear a mask. And where do I go? I go get gas. I go take care of, run errands, wash clothes, go to Jack in the Box. Yeah, I like Jack in the Box. I like the little breakfast Jack, Sometimes I get home cooked meals, but that's because I have somebody fix a home cooked meal for me. That's a good thing. But when I don't have that person to cook that home cooked meal for me, then hey, Jack in the Box. But that's just me. But I'm always wearing that mask to protect myself from others and also to protect others from me. So, it's like, we should always, wear those masks, do what needs to be done. Hey, Sandra, what's up? Hey, Ronald. But anyway, that's what we got to do. And my shout out, the personal shout out I want to give is to the housekeepers and, hey, Lisa, housekeepers, and to the janitorial staff. After they had the storming, the invasion of the White House by the Trump supporters, the maggots, then I was watching on TV today, and the housekeeping and the janitorial staff, they're up there cleaning everything up, getting everything back tip-top shape, and they're doing all of that. So those are people who a lot of times we don't think about, because we don't think about them. So I think we should think about, of course we think about the doctors and the nurses because they're the ones that are on the front line. Janitorial and housekeeping and other type of jobs, those are what you would call essential because we need them because they are essential to what we have to go through. I go to Jack in the Box. There's people at Jack in the Box are waiting on me to feed, give me my breakfast Jack. So those are essential workers. So I want to give out that shout out to them. Also, so let me give that shout out to them because I'll forget. So, Mabuhay, Amandla, Hokahe, Wakanda Forever, Harambe, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Walaikum Assalam. Did I say mahalo? Mahalo. And, just a shout out to all those people that are doing the essential work that we need to have done. Okay, so shout out to them. Yesterday I said I gave a shout out to the Capitol Police, and I normally don't say things about the police because I'm conflicted about that. Hey, Shaniqua, what's up? And I said for the Capitol Police, but you know what? Bottom line, they didn't really do a good job. So I guess the Capitol Police was the one, when I was talking about them, was the ones that barricaded themselves and to keep the rioters the maggots from coming inside the Congress, the halls of the Congress and the Senate, and they were protecting them. And I guess that's where one of the rioters got shot by the police. And so for them, but all the rest of them, they didn't do their job. And I want you to think about it. I know I talked about it yesterday, and y'all have to bear with me because I'm going to talk about it today. President Biden was when he was giving a speech today, and he said his granddaughter sent him a picture. And on the picture, it showed all these armed police, soldiers, whatever. They all had the helmets, and they had the guns, and they had all this stuff. And they were lined up deep, waiting on the Black Lives protesters. But this was actually at the Lincoln Memorial during the summer. And they was ready. And then you come down to what happened yesterday. And the police, they had these little barriers that you keep people from crossing over when you're at a parade. Right? And they didn't have all the numbers that they should have. And they didn't have their shield. They obviously wasn't ready. And they knew all about it. And that's the reason why the head of the Capitol Police resigned today. And they're talking about they want the Sergeant of Arms to resign. And, you know, they want heads to roll. And heads should roll. So my shout out yesterday was for those individual police who stood their ground and fought and did what they had to do, you know, to protect people. So that's who my shout out was going out to for them. Hey, Diaz, what's up, Peter? Show you how stupid some of those rioters are. Why does dude go and take a picture with that dude, the shaman for the QAnon? He's an insult to Native Americans, he wears his ID from his job when he takes the picture. Now, how stupid is that? So people identified him wearing his ID badge, and so the job who he works for, some press company, whatever, they say, hey, he don't work for us no more. He's fired. And most of those people, they didn't even care about their faces being photographed. You know, like they had a thing on Facebook where this dude, he was a lawyer in, I don't know, Arizona someplace, and he was bragging on his Instagram about how it was exciting, how he got, and he's a lawyer, and how he got gassed and everything. And then his company said, yeah, well, you don't work for us no more. Okay, so, and you're looking, and the cabinet members, they are resigning left and right, quitting. The Republican cabinet members are quitting, you know, but it's kind of late. Y'all should have quit a long time ago. And if you couldn't quit, then you should have at least had the courage to tell your boy Donald that, you know, what he was doing wasn't cool, wasn't right. You don't want to be a yes man or a yes woman and just, you know, go along with whatever Trump wants. But that's what he wants, the kind of people who would only do what he wants. And the ones that refuse to do what he wants, he fired them. Okay? So he fired them. And the whole thing with the National Guard, the only one who could call out the National Guard in D.C., because D.C. has a mayor, but they're not a part of any state. So basically only the federal government, being only the president, is the one who can call out the National Guard. But Trump never did. It was Vice President Pence. And I'm being nice calling him Vice President. But at least he had the guts or the courage or the unstupidity to tell Trump, like, no, I'm not going to decertify the election. And, you know, so now I understand Trump and his boy Pence, they don't talk to each other because Pence was like, you know, he ain't going to be his boy no more. So the National Guard wasn't called out because of the fact that Trump didn't do it. Pence did it late. Okay, and when you look at the police that they had there, they should have had way more police out there. They should have had a lot of police out there, and they should have been armed with dogs. They should have had dogs. They always have dogs when they mess with Black Lives Matter, and they should have had tear gas. I didn't see no tear gas. I mean, they might have had some tear gas, but not like a whole lot. And they should have had them big ass billy clubs and, you know, been knocking some heads. Now here's another thing. Every time you see a black man or a Latino who gets killed by the police, what is the one thing that the police always say? I feared for my life. What was that in Wisconsin? Shot the black dude 7 times in the back because he was trying to get to his car with his kids, and they said he had a knife. So they were scared of 7 cops. Was scared of this one black man that had allegedly had a knife in his hand. And maybe he did have a knife. I don't know. He had a knife in his hand trying to go to his car where his kids was at in the car. And the cops feared for their life, so they shot him 7 times. He's alive, but he's paralyzed from the waist down. Philando Castile, he had a license. He was a registered gun owner. He had a license to carry a gun. And he was trying to tell the police, I have my permit, let me give you the permit. And the cops shot him dead. There have been numerous cases where cops killed blacks and Latinos, and the first thing out their mouth is, I was scared for my life. So that's why I shot. Now here you are, you the police, and you supposed to be guarding the Congress, guarding the Senate, guarding the White House, and you got 50, 60,000 maggots coming at you, and you gonna tell me you don't fear for your life? So if you scared for your life, and there's 7 cops and 1 black dude, why would you not be scared for your life when it's like 50, 60,000 white maggots coming up on you? Took their gun and shot him. And if a black cop would have shot one of them, then it would have been like, I was scared for my life. I thought he was going to hurt me. And he would have been justified. But my understanding was that the police really did not believe, really did not think that the maggots would storm the White House. Why? Because they wasn't black. They wasn't Latinos. They wasn't Antifa, anti-fascist. Oh, and then there was also a thing where you've heard Republicans say, well, the Antifa, the anti-fascists, they was like in the crowd stirring up stuff, and they're the ones that was responsible. Okay, hold on for a minute. Ain't no anti-fascist, ain't no Black Lives Matter person of any kind of intelligence gonna be stupid enough to go in a crowd with 50, 60,000 Trump supporter maggots talking about Black Lives Matter. Come on, you gotta be stupid. You see what they did when they would try to go to a Trump rally before Trump was elected president? They would jump on them. And Trump would be like, yeah, get them out of here, beat them up. So for those who say, well, the left was responsible, the left was involved in it, the anti-fascists, no. I don't care. The white anarchists, the antifas, they're not stupid. They go out there because when they go out there where there's a crowd of Black Lives Matter supporters so they can blend in. And then at the appropriate moment, they break off from the crowd and start breaking windows and stuff, make the whole movement look bad, but they don't care. Because they only want to do is break windows and burn stuff. And, there are some members of our community who want to get out there and all they want to do is go loot. Speaking of looting, the maggots was looting. Dude took the podium, man. And they said it was a computer that came up missing that had sensitive government classified material on it. And they destroyed everything. But see, that's the whole point that I'm trying to make. And I made it yesterday, and I'm going to make it again today. That's the difference between how the police and law enforcement act towards peaceful Black Lives Matter protests. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say all Black Lives Matter protests are peaceful. Because like I said, you got the anarchists and you got the Antifas and you got people from Black and brown communities. They don't give a damn about what's going on. All they want to do is go out there and go break windows and loot stores. Okay? But that's a small percentage. And they're using the bigger crowd of BLM to blend in with, and then till they get ready to go do what they want to do. So ain't no Antifa, ain't no anarchist on the left wing stupid enough to go to a Trump support rally talking about Black Lives Matter and F Trump. You got to be a fool to do that. So they loot, they break windows, they do all the things that supposedly, allegedly, all Black Lives Matter people do. And now I want to know what's going to happen. They arrested like less than 100 of them. And they're talking about, well, they want to make sure that they're asking, and stupid people, you would think that you would wear a mask, not just to keep people from getting COVID-19 and to keep yourself from getting COVID-19, but you would wear a mask so you would not be identified. Hell, if I was going to go to one of them damn things, I would wear a mask. I'm too old, so I'm not going to be going one and trying to fight the police and then run from the police. I'm too old and I'm too fat, so I'm not doing all that. But if I was a young man, like I used to be back in the 60s, I would wear a mask so I would not be able to be identified. So all of those who broke in to the White House, they don't need no slap on the hand. They need to be punished. For real, man. Because that's the only way, hey Jan, that's the only way that people will realize that you just can't do what you want to do. So they said it was insurrection. They said a coup. You can call it whatever you want to. But there's a difference between how the government and how the police react towards us, Black Lives Matter protests, the left wing, and how they reacted towards the maggots. There was somebody made a comment about, y'all probably don't even know, but people my age would know about it. In Iran, when the Ayatollah took over the United States Embassy and how they had all the militants climbing over the walls to get into the American Embassy and how they captured the embassy. This was when Jimmy Carter was the president. And it was, similar to the maggots climbing the walls to get in, breaking the windows and everything like that. So America has always had this thing of they want to show the world that we are the citadel of democracy. We are the light of freedom. In all other countries that are not communist or socialist or paganist or, dictators like North Korea and China and all that kind of stuff, that they should look to America as the example of what to be. So what they saw was the president, Donald, I can't call him Donald Duck no more because my friend Ed Nash said his favorite cartoon character is Donald Duck, so I can only call him Donald the Clown, the Orange Clown. You saw the President of the United States standing there telling people, let's march on the Capitol. March on the Capitol. Show them what we can do. Come on, man. And then he didn't even want to sit up here and tell people to stop. And it wasn't until he kept getting enough pressure and stuff, he come up here and say, okay, well, it's time for everybody to go home now. We lost the election. I lost the election. You lost the election. The country lost the election. All these bull crap lies. And then he says, and we love you. So when a black man or a brown man gets killed by the police, they're criminals. Even if that black man or that brown man or black woman or brown woman didn't do nothing wrong. You got to remember what Donald did with the, what's the part in New York? With the New York, the black and brown teenagers who were arrested for the rape of a white woman, and they didn't even do it. And Trump was like, "Oh, they ought to be executed." This was when Trump wasn't even. Trump was just a TV guy doing his little TV shows and all that crap, and he never apologized, about sitting up here and saying those kids should have been executed, and they spent like 15, 20 years in jail for a crime they didn't do. Justice should not be spelled Justus. Just us. Just us go to jail. Just us get our ass beat. Just us get killed by the police. Just us get pulled over. Just us. Justice is supposed to be Justice, as in everybody. And my thing is, if you're going to do us one way, then you need to do the maggots the same way. And if you're going to give the maggots free reign to go out there and do whatever they want to do, then you need to give us free reign too when we have our protests. And I'll say it again. Look back to when they had the George Floyd protests in Washington, D.C. and what Donald the Clown did. With him and his Bible upside down doing a photo shoot. He cleared out that whole park and made everybody leave so he could go do a photo shoot. And they had enough police to do that. And he's always talking about law and order. So I've been hearing them talk about they want to invoke the 25th Amendment to get rid of Donald. And part of the whole thing is that the Vice President Pence and the majority of the cabinet have to vote to, get rid of Donald like that. But I believe 2 of his cabinet members quit. And ambassadors quit. And a whole bunch of Republicans are like coming out against Donald. But here's the thing that I want to say about them. You should have said something a long time ago. And if you really don't like what Trump was doing, you should have quit a long time ago. Now you want to do it now. That's stupid. You stupid. And I'm hoping that all your Republican party members, those who are moderate and those who have good memories and those who have come to the realization that Trump ain't doo-doo, or he ain't nothing but doo-doo, orange doo-doo, that I hope that they will vote you out of your office. And those who are Trump supporters, the maggots who are like diehard maggots, they're not going to vote for you because they know you turn against Trump. So hopefully the diehards, the maggots, they gonna want to put you out of office. And hopefully the moderates are gonna be like, no, you didn't do nothing either. So that's, you know, am I still upset about it? Yeah, I am. I'm still upset. I ain't gonna lie, I'm upset. But accountability. The police need to be held accountable for their actions, for what they do, or for what they don't do. Accountability. The maggots need to be held accountable for storming the Capitol, for looting, for destroying, breaking windows, for all the stuff that they do. All the stuff that they do, and the government talks bad about us when we do it. So now I want the maggots to be held accountable too. Because believe me, when we do something, even when we ain't did nothing, we get held accountable. We don't have to do a damn thing, and we will be held accountable simply because of the color of our skin, simply because of our politics, simply because we're sitting up here talking about Black Lives Matter. And then people talking about, well, all lives matter. No, this is not about all lives matter. It's the fact that black and brown lives matter, and we're saying Black Lives Matter and Brown Lives Matter, is because we don't matter. And this whole thing on January 6th, that should tell people exactly that we don't matter. Because if we mattered, then you would have done to the maggots what you did to us every time we have a protest, when we have a peaceful protest. Even when there ain't no anti-fascists there and no anarchists ain't there, don't show up, you will still look for an excuse to break up the protests. Because somehow you think that we're embarrassing America because we're saying that Black Lives Matter. Hell, your president Trump, he embarrassed this country. So that's where I'm coming from, y'all. That's where I'm coming from. Today is January 7th, day 282 for me. Doing my shout out. And I know I start talking all this other stuff, but hey, that's where I'm coming from. That's how I'm feeling. So I hope y'all understand that. You know, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Wear a mask. Like I said, when I do go outside, and then I think out of the 282 days that I've been doing this, it's probably about 15, maybe 16 days that I actually did not go outside. There was actually some nice, warm, nice days that I stayed in the house. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But, you know, y'all do what you gotta do. Pray for those who have COVID-19. Pray for those who have died from COVID-19. Pray for those all over the world. Pray for those who are going through emotional, mental, physical pain right now. Let's see what's going to happen January 20th. You know, they showing them putting these 7-foot fences up now. And they're talking about they're bringing in all kind of National Guards for the inauguration. And the thing is, Donald the clown is still the president of the United States. He can go still push a button. He can still do something stupid. 13 days, y'all. 13 days. But the good thing is, today, And y'all tell me why he did it. Today, for some reason, he said, yes. Yeah, he didn't even call Joe Biden by his name. He just said, yes, it's been certified by the Congress and the Senate. So there will be a transition of power. Feel me, y'all? Accountability. Somebody need to be held accountable. Somebody need to be held accountable for instigating, agitating, inciting the maggots to march on the Capitol and invade and storm the White House. Somebody needs to be held accountable for not having enough police and not bringing the National Guard out to help the police. Somebody needs to be held accountable. Somebody needs to be held accountable. The ones that actually got in the White House and destroyed everything, did all that other stuff. Somebody needs to be held accountable. Hey, Roshan, what's up, baby? So accountability. Let them be held accountable. Do I want to say that we should let bygones be bygones and let Donald ride off into the sunset on January 20th? Hell no. If anybody needs to be held accountable for what happened, he is the one. Who was it said the buck stops right here? I don't know if that was Truman, FDR. I don't know. One of them presidents said the buck stops right here. The problem is Donald the Clown makes up his own rules. Oh, and he got banned. Looked like he banned off of Facebook and Instagram. Twitter let him back on. You know, and he sat up here and made his little statement about, we love you. Go home. Okay. Hey, you know what? I'm up out of here. One love, y'all. One love. Everybody, please stay safe, stay strong, wear that mask. All right, y'all. Yeah. What can I say? Oh, I know what I can say. I need a haircut. See? I need a haircut. I need a haircut. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Not the way Donald the Clown says he loves you to the maggots, but I'm saying I love you as a human being, as a person that is trying to show love to all of you, because I like get love coming back to me. And, you know, we got to do what we got to do. Harambe. Harambe. Harambe, let's pull together. All right, y'all, I'm up out of here. Peace. Stay strong. Stay safe. I need a haircut.